Hello my friends and welcome, my name is Dennis and in this video we're going to start the engine. We are going to do some tricks. And we are going to wash the car. So stay with me guys and I'm going to review the GAZ21 Volga for you. It's the most famous Soviet car ever made. So my friends, it's GAZ21, very old manufacturer for this kind of automobiles. Nowadays it's kind of rare machine to have in a good state, but well before it was the most popular Soviet car on our streets. And today we're going to start it up and you will see how the engine is working. But first guys, let's dig a little bit to the history. The GAZ21 Volga was a new project for USSR automobile production, previously most known for agriculture, tractors and trucks development. The first goal for the new car was to fill the gap of private ownership cars, which was demanded by working class of Soviet society. There was a car back in those days called M20 Pobeda, victory in English. The name was given after the World War II was over, so you can imagine that M20 Pobeda was a quite old car for the time. Even though the Soviet Union was a closed country, the car designers got some cars, let's say, for inspiration from abroad. Cars like Ford Mainline, Plymouth, Savoy, Chevrolet, 210 Deluxe, Kaiser Henry. All those cars were made with the same style which was prevailing at the time. Big bumpers, straight lines, in general, ear-style shapes. And most of those cars were American built. United States of America was and still at the edge of automobile design. But all those cars were just an inspirational breeze for Soviet Union traditionally not making regular cars for people. The Soviet car designers did their own design, so the car is just looking like its competitors. However, totally made from zero on USSR Gorky Automobile Factory. Что там? Машина? Мотора нет. Мотора нет? Все пусто. So guys, this casual engine for GAZ21 Volga, and as you can see, it's not V8 or something. It's just I don't remember the displacement ratio of this engine. I think it's 2.5 or something. I'll just ask Vladimir. I think it's around 60 horsepower for this huge car. And yeah, some red spoop here. Anyway, it's in good condition, I would say. The first testing car was out in 1954, so it took 2 years for engineers to make it to the test line. The prototype got its first name, the M21. From the very beginning, the Ford automatic transmission was chosen for the prototype, making it the first mass-production Soviet car with automatic transmission gearbox. However, later the designers made the decision to turn for classic manual transmission on a steering wheel. The automatic transmission was made for export variants of future models. Ой. Да, слушай, интересно. Закрывай?
Да, не заведется.
Серьезно? Это такая система?
Конечно. Вот там кнопка есть красная слева.
Давай я посвечу. Тут
вот.
Ничего не вижу. Ага, сейчас. И вот. Это запуск?
Нажимай, дави.
Капец. Как Мерседес.
Только трусит. Сейчас прогреется, можно будет трусить.
The USSR had a plan economy. That means they had been planning for 5 years ahead to produce this particular car. The metallurgical industry, the rubber industry, plastic industry, and many more others got orders to provide their resources for that project. The planning economy is a good feature to have from one side because everyone has its own goals for 5 years ahead, but it's not flexible. That is why then in 1956 the serial production of future car was started. The GAZ21 Volga was already an average car if you compare it to the American analogs. But in USSR, Volga hit the popularity, even though not many people could afford to buy the car. As a Soviet citizen, you not only need to pay unimaginable 6,000 rubles with average salary of 150 rubles per month, but you also need to wait for your turn to take a car. I mean wait for a long time. There was a joke about it.
You know, there's a 10-year delay in the Soviet Union of delivery of an automobile. And only 1 out of 7 families in the Soviet Union own automobiles. There's a 10-year wait. And you go through quite a process when you're ready to buy, and then you put up the money in advance. And this happened to a fellow, and this is their story that they tell, this joke. That this man, he laid down his money, and then the fellow that was in charge said to him, okay, come back in 10 years and get your car. And he said, morning or afternoon? And the fellow behind the counter said, well, 10 years from now, what difference does it make? And he said, well, the plumber's coming in the morning.
The first model was designed with a so-called shark teeth on the front radiator inlet, but the Soviet leader Nikita Khrushchev had found it too aggressive and he asked for more light and more patriotic design. So Gorky Car Factory rebuilt the front part, putting the star sign just in the center of air inlet frame. What Mr. Khrushchev thought to be less aggressive turned out to be more aggressive for Western world because of that star sign on the front. You know guys, America and Soviet Union were enemies back then in the Cold War, and propaganda was working hard demonizing the enemy in both countries. So GAZ21 was not popular in Western world, but still was very cheap car to buy, and after the original shark teeth design was returned, the Volga export rose significantly, and in 1958 the car was nominated as the best car in Europe at the Car Expo which took place in Brussels.
Классный автомобиль.
Едешь вперед и назад, но надо мыть.
Не, классный, очень классный. Черный вообще шикарный.
Горная Волга.
Okay guys, we know about the first series modification with the star sign and the second modification so-called shark teeth. But there is also the third series modification that you could already have seen in this video. Yes guys, it is the car that we are starting right now. This modification is called Berlin or Welfin. Yes, they changed the intake part again. And the chrome radiator is very similar to that the Veichle have.
Это капец. Так, я не знаю, включил я ее или нет. Не включил. О, включил. Let's go. Oh my god. It's crazy, guys. I feel myself on some kind of tank. brakes are working fine. Oh my god! I feel myself like on a big yacht, you know? Come on, I need the third gear. Alright, it's the third one. And I'm going. Ah! Ah! Guys, it's quite difficult to ride this thing, honestly. Again, the first gear. Oh no. Let's go. Again, third. No, no. Come on, the first one. All right. Again, the first gear. And neutral. I think it's enough, guys. It should be it. It's kind of crazy machine. Actually, guys, I do have a very close connection to this car type because it was the first car in my family. Back in 1995, my father bought GAZ21 Volga, and the car was quite old. It was 37 years old by that time, and we were using it for 5 more years. So as I said, guys, the car was quite old and it wasn't shiny, it wasn't in restored condition, but I hardly recall if we had any serious issues with the Volga maintenance. It was extremely reliable. But later my parents changed Volga for other car, and honestly saying, I was crying that day because I was just 10-year-old kid and I enjoyed the time we spent driving the Volga everywhere. So yes, I still have very warm memories about my childhood and GAZ21. Hey my friends, I just have an idea. Write your own story about your childhood car or your childhood motorcycle. It would be very interesting to read the comments. And also guys, smash the like button if you like the old car stories. See you in the comments. So guys, we continue. You may see that there are only minor changes in Volga series and modification designs. And I like all of them. But wait my friends, I just forgot to tell you about the engine. Well, what can I say? It is reliable, but it's quite low powered, as every Soviet engine on every Soviet car. Inside American-made old cars we expect to see powerful V8 or at least V6 engines with a large displacement volume, but here we just have a 4-cylinder inline engine with 2.4 liters displacement volume, which produces 70 horsepower and 167 newtons per meter of torque. Not much, but it is quite a reliable engine. Volga was widely spread, and even though it used to be a heavy car with a soft suspension, it was sometimes redesigned to take part in competitions and races, and even international races. That car even won the first place in Thousand Lakes Rally Raid Championship, which took place in Finland. The GAZ21 Volga was used by taxi service, police ambulance. It was given as a present to famous people and for those who did their best in working for Communist Party and for the country itself. Volga was also a very famous movie car. It was filmed in many movies. I think one of the best movies with this car is called Watch Out for the Car. The movie genre is detective tragic comedy, and it's a story about the modern Robin Hood who steals the cars from rich people and later on sells those cars to get money for orphanage. I think that it's a superb movie, guys, because there you can see the car motorcycle chase, the car sidecar motorcycle chase to be more accurate, and very rare car trolley bus chase. I still wonder, guys, how could that movie go to the screens in Soviet era, because it is showing some Soviet time realities clearly marked through the sarcastic and subtle humor lines going through the movie story. My friends, I highly suggest you to watch that piece of movie art. I will put the link to this video in the description. It is just on YouTube. The full movie is on YouTube, so you can turn the English subtitles on and you can enjoy the full movie. Believe me, you'll like it. It's one of the best movie of 20th century, believe me. The Gorky Automobile Factory was keeping Volga GAZ21 in production series for very long, 14 years. And in 1970 it was replaced by more modern Volga GAZ24. Nowadays it's hard to find good GAZ21 in original state, and it may cost you up to $50,000. Some of the people are modernizing GAZ21 with new engines, electronics, air conditioning and many other new things. But my personal opinion, guys, is that Volga is the best as it is, and probably most of you would agree with me on that. The smooth line road yacht cars era had gone, and just lonely rarity examples left in lean hands to remind us about the good old times. The good old times when we were younger, and the grass was greener, and the sky was bluer.